morning, guys. It is actually kind of late in the afternoon. It's 2 o'clock, but that's because I went to bed early one day. I went to bed at 11 or 11:30 2 nights ago, and I went to bed at 4 a.m. last night, so apparently I haven't fixed anything yet, and I kind of need to because a week from now, I'll be going to bed and then flying in the morning because I fly next Wednesday, so yeah. Anyway, so overall it's just been another pretty chill day. I'm happy to say that I never had a fever at all yesterday, and I feel great today. I felt great last night, so whatever that was, it seems to be gone. I don't know if it is I had a cold and because of Trikafta I got over it faster. I don't know if it was allergies like just severely acting up. I don't know, but whatever it is, it's gone, so I don't care. But anyway, so just having a pretty chill day. It is, I think it's kind of cloudy today actually. It was when I took Panda out. Yeah, it's not the prettiest of days like we've been having, but it's warm. And yeah, so I'm not sure I'm gonna do a whole lot outside today, but I had a little bit of a situation with Panda this morning. So I don't know if you guys know, but sometimes he will react to other dogs when we're outside. And there's this big black lab that he typically hates. And anyway, so I was taking him out to go do his business, and the black lab goes by, and I was like, wow, you're such a good boy, Panda. He like didn't react at all. Like he looked at it and then he just kept walking, and I was like, wow, what a good boy. Maybe he's finally getting over this like fear, basically is what it is, of other dogs. And so went down, I was like, wow, he's so good. And then we were at the bottom of the hill, this hill right back here. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it, probably not. But anyway, there's a hill here that goes down to water, and then there's a hill over there. And we were down on that bottom of the hill back here. And I was about to bring him back up, and this, what I think was a Shar-Pei dog is walking by, and this dog just starts going ballistic on him. So I can't really blame him for what he did here, but this dog starts going ballistic on him. So I was like, Panda, ignore and leave it are my two commands. And at first he did, and then he was just like, this dog is not leaving me alone. So he actually barked back at the dog, and then I like got him to sit, and he left it alone. But I have never seen him, like since we've moved, I don't think he's ever barked. He's never barked at another dog or person, and he, the only time he barked is when I would tell him to speak, or, which I don't do now because we live in an apartment and I don't think our neighbors would appreciate that, or I think he barked once at a DoorDash person, but like, or somebody was knocking on the door, but like, he has never gone off barking at another dog, so I was kind of surprised by that, especially since he he didn't react at all to the black lab, but I guess because the dog was barking at him, he finally felt the need to bark back at it. But he stopped barking, and then he ignored it, and he listened to me, so it was fine. It wasn't like anything happened. I was just like, oh, I did not expect you to start barking. So anyway, so that was kind of interesting this morning. But yeah, just overall haven't done a whole lot. I did some laundry this morning, cleaned up the kitchen a little bit, and now I'm just kind of sitting and drinking some coffee. Panda's staring at me. You think it's time for your dinner? You hungry? You want your dinner? Okay. We feed them in their crates because we don't want them running around with each other while they're eating. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and feed him because now he's staring at me. And then just kind of hang out. So hope you guys are having a good day as well, and I'll see you guys in a little while. Hey guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end today's vlog. I am one, waiting for a call to refill my Trikafta, and two, just gonna watch the Lightning game and stuff tonight. And when my dad gets home, I think we're gonna watch Manifest, so I'm gonna get this up now. But I wanted to talk a little bit about how I plan on, because I was talking about flying, and I wanted to talk a little bit on how I plan on protecting myself when I fly next week, because, and I touched on this a little bit earlier, but I thought I'd just actually like, I don't know, actually sit down and like explain everything that I plan on doing. So I got all the 4 things that I plan on using to protect myself when I fly, because I am not the kind of person that's like freaking out about COVID-19 or coronavirus, but at the same time, I'm the kind of person that's like, well, I'm immunocompromised, and not gonna lie, when I had that fever that one day, I had a couple of racing thoughts through my head, like, oh, if this doesn't go away, I might have to like, I don't know, get tested for this virus. But thankfully it went away. But you know, I know that there was many is it now? There's like 6 cases in Florida, I think, and 1 was a county over from us, but Arkansas actually has no cases of it yet, so I'm actually going to be flying to a state that doesn't have it. But anyway, so when I'm out and about, like here, I'm not that worried about it because it's like I always come home, I'm washing my hands, I'm, you know, like I will wash my hands after I get back from the grocery store. I will wash my hands after touching the handrail on our apartment complex and taking Panda out. I'll wash my hands after touching a bench. Like I'm just constantly washing my hands. But when I'm going through an airport, that's not quite as easy to do. So I've come up with a little bit of a plan on hopefully minimizing any risks I have of catching anything. And not just COVID-19, like there is so much out there that planes are not clean places, okay? So the first 2 things I've already been doing, I've done every single time I've flown, which is 1, hand sanitizer. Like it kind of humors me in a way that everybody's now like, take the hand sanitizer when you fly, and I'm just like, you didn't do that anyway? Like, that's kind of gross, to be completely honest. Like, airplane bathrooms, if I have to use them, I try to avoid them at all costs, but if I have to use them, I don't like using that sink they have in there. I use my hand sanitizer. If you have, I don't know, touch the tray table because it's gross, hand sanitizer. If you have just been walking around the airport and touching handrails and elevator buttons, hand sanitizer. Like, I don't understand how people weren't doing that before. It kind of grosses me out, but maybe more people will be doing it now. But it's like, this one makes no sense to me. It's like, you should have been carrying this when you flew before COVID-19 broke out. Like, you should have been carrying this every single time you fly. Just do it, because that's gross. And I'm not a germaphobe, but that's gross. So, and the other thing I've already been doing is, because one thing I touch on an almost constant basis when I'm flying, whether I'm listening to music, texting people, watching YouTube, checking my app to board, whatever it is, I have these little cleaning wipes that I typically use for my glasses, but I'll also use them on my phone and my headphones because I'm not using hand sanitizer every time I pick up my phone. So this throughout the day, 1 or 2 of these throughout the day kind of get stuff off the phone as well. And just, I don't know how much percent alcohol this is. It has isopropyl alcohol in it. And I think it has to be like 70% to kill the virus. But regardless, it's like, it's something. And so that's something I've always done too, because I don't want to be, you know, cleaning my hands but then touching my phone with who knows what is on it from going around the airport. So I'll just clean my phone like once or twice a day while I'm going through it as well. So those 2 things I've already been doing like every time I fly, just to minimize the risk of germs, because it's not just the coronavirus. I don't want to get the flu. I don't want to get a cold. I don't want to get who knows what else is going around in airports and airplanes. So those 2 things I've already been doing. But because of this, I'm also going to be a little more conscious of what I'm doing. So I'm adding possibly 2 new things, at least 1. So when I was in the hospital back in February, they have this little, you know, hospital kit or whatever, and I took these home because I was like, oh, these could be useful at some point. Like, they were just gonna throw them away anyway, so why not take them? And what I'm planning on doing with these is, I actually didn't even, you know, plan this out at the time. These are hospital grade, obviously, but they are 70% alcohol, so they actually will kill the coronavirus as well. But I'm planning on using these, and there's 20 in here, so I have 3 flights on the way out, 3 flights on the way back. So say I use 2 per flight, you know, I should have enough. So anyway, but what I'm planning on doing with these is not for wiping my hands. That's what the hand sanitizer is for, and I have 2 of these hand sanitizers, by the way, because there's a shortage. But anyway, so what I plan on doing with these is wiping down the tray table, because fun fact, an airplane tray table is dirtier than an airplane bathroom. So if you wanted to be disturbed, there you go. But so I'm gonna use these on the tray table. I'm gonna use them on the seatbelt buckle and on the drink menu, because those are the 3 things I'll be touching in a flight on a consistent basis. I don't really touch, I might wipe the arm rails, I'm not sure, but I don't usually use those. Usually those are the only 3 things I'm actually touching. And so I will use those on all 3 of those and just clean them off and help the cleaning crew on the plane. One thing I like is Southwest actually has put out, they're doing these on flights as well now, and some other things, like they have a HEPA filter for their airflow and stuff, so I like that they're also beefing up their cleaning measures in the wake of this, but I'm just gonna do a little bit extra and just use this. And honestly, it doesn't even have to be for COVID-19. Like, this is a good thing to do when you fly anyway. It's a little bit extra. I haven't been doing it, but it's not a bad thing. Like, cleaning off a tray table is never a bad thing. So I'm gonna use these. And the last thing is, I do have this fog mask, which aren't as good as those, the paper masks, but we are not supposed to be ordering those because there's actually a shortage of masks for like doctors and people who like legitimately need them to treat people, or people going to the hospital that need them. So I'm not gonna order any of those because we're not supposed to be ordering any of those. But I do have this fog mask. Now, I'm not sure if I'm gonna wear it on the plane, and the reasoning for that is, one, I think it was the CDC said people exhibiting respiratory symptoms should wear it, and also if there's nobody coughing or sneezing or anything by me, I'm not gonna wear it, because after I wear this for like an hour at CF clinic, I start to feel like I'm suffocating, and I already don't breathe as well on planes anyway. My O2 will like drop, not significantly, but it will drop to like 94, and so I don't know if I'm gonna do this, but if there's somebody who's, because this doesn't protect me from getting it as much as it protects other people from whatever I'm spewing out, but if there's somebody that's next to me or behind me that's sneezing and coughing, and you can bet I'm gonna put this on no matter how uncomfortable it is. So I may do this, I may not. I haven't decided on that one yet, but the other 3 things I'm definitely going to use. So that's kind of how I plan on protecting myself. And like I said, I'm also going to enjoy my flights. Like, I'm human, and I've been a little bit scared by this virus going around, but at the same time, I love flying. I love being up in the sky. I love exploring airports, and though I'm gonna be doing it to a more cautious degree, I'm not gonna like touch all the handrails and elevator buttons if I can avoid it, like elbow things, but I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm not gonna freak out. I'm not gonna panic, because that's not gonna help. Like, whether I'm sitting there enjoying my flight and taking the precautionary measures I can, or if I'm sitting there panicking that every single person on this plane is gonna give me COVID-19 and I'm gonna end up dying, what's gonna happen is gonna happen. So I am gonna do everything in my power to prevent not just this, but flu, because it's still flu season, and flu season has been terrible this year. Prevent any other cold, any other virus, any other whatchamacallit that's going around, and enjoy my flight, because at the end of the day, that's the most I can do, and that's all I can do, and so I'm gonna do it. So anyway, that's how I plan on protecting myself. And the only other thing I think is when I get, typically, depending, well, like, let's take this for example. Like, I get into Arkansas at 2:15, so taking a shower and changing would kind of be a normal thing, but I probably wouldn't do it until nighttime. And then I get into Tampa at 12:30 a.m. and typically I just go to bed, but I think both times I get in now, I'll take a shower, wash off the airport, change my clothes, and then go about my day, just to give myself as much safety as possible. And it's never, like I said, COVID-19 or not, it's never a bad thing to protect yourself from airports. And the only other thing I think about is, I didn't think about this till now, but the hand sanitizer, I'm gonna use it after I go through security, because I was thinking touching stuff in the plane, touching handrails, touching elevator buttons, but you touch those bins in security and who knows how many people have touched those. So gonna try to think about that as well. So anyway, that's how I plan on protecting myself, and still gonna make the most of the flights. And yes, I'm glad that after this I won't have to fly for a while, because if I didn't have to fly, I wouldn't be. If it wasn't for a legitimate medical cause, I would not be flying right now. Like I was saying, I'm glad our cruise is in September, because if we had a cruise right now, I'd be canceling it. But I'm gonna live not in fear. I'm gonna do what I can, but not live in fear of this. So thank you guys so much for coming along on my day today, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. And if you guys have any tips that I could possibly else do while I'm flying to protect myself, leave them down below, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good night.